Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Chet SG here, and welcome back to another Star Wars Top 10 video. So, today's Top 10 is going to be about the top 10 bounty hunters in Star Wars. So, at number 10, we have Dengar. So, Dengar was one of the bounty hunters that showed up in Empire Strikes Back. And Dengar has a pretty good track record when it comes to bounty hunting. But the only reason he is number 10 on this list is because we really didn't see much of him like we did with other bounty hunters. But no offense to Dengar, he's a pretty good bounty hunter, but he isn't as good as the other ones. Alright, so at number 9 we have Aurra Sing. So Aurra Sing is higher than Dengar, mostly because we did see more of her in the Clone Wars, and we actually did get a Easter egg of her in The Phantom Menace. And she also was the one that trained Boba Fett and teamed up with Bossk, Cad Bane, a whole bunch of other known bounty hunters in the galaxy. But yeah, I think Aurra Sing is better than Dengar. So at number 8 we have Asajj Ventress. So Ventress is only above those two, mostly because of her being able to complete her bounties most of the time, but she has done less bounties. But really, the only reason she is low on the list is mostly because we really don't think much of her as a bounty hunter. We more think of her as a Sith assassin, or for Count Dooku, or a Night Sister. We really don't think much of her as a bounty hunter. But if we got to see more of her as a bounty hunter, maybe she'd be higher up on the list. Let me know in the comments. So at number 7, we have IG-88B. So IG-88 was in Empire Strikes Back, but inevitably got killed by Boba Fett shortly in Empire Strikes Back, which you can actually see him in one of the scenes with Chewbacca and C-3PO. Or at least that's what we think is IG-88. But IG-88 was a very good bounty hunter, and that's why I have him ranked higher than the other ones. But he isn't top 5 worthy, and neither is this next bounty hunter. He's still a very good bounty hunter, though. So at number 6, we have Embo. So Embo was a bounty hunter from the Republic era, or the Clone Wars era. So Embo is probably one of my favorite bounty hunters, mostly because of him, the connection him and his dog. Well, I'm just gonna call it a dog because that's basically what it is. But in my opinion, it shows the relationship between man and creature, or alien and creature in the Star Wars universe. But the reason why Embo is above the other 4 bounty hunters on this list, 4, mostly because of his bounty hunting percentage, and how it showed off his character in a few of the arcs. But yeah, that's why I put Embo at number 6. At number 5, we have Bossk. So Bossk was in the Republic era and the Imperial era. So Bossk is probably one of the greatest bounty hunters of all time. In my opinion, Bossk, he just had this feel to him that made you want to fear him. And he was also the one who trained Boba Fett and bounty hunted with some of the greatest bounty hunters of all time, like Aurra Sing, Embo, the list goes on. So at number 4, we have Din Djarin, or the Mandalorian, whatever you want to call him. So the reason why I have Din Djarin so high is, if you watch The Mandalorian, you'll see that he's completed almost every single one of his bounties, besides the one for Grogu. And also, Din Djarin is very strong. He was able to fight Moff Gideon, who was able to get the Darksaber at that, which is from a heavily guarded Mandalore at the time, and has one of the strongest armors in the world. But I'm not going to put him in the top 3 just because there were 3 bounty hunters, in my opinion, who are better than Din Djarin. So at number 3, we have Jango Fett. So people really forget this about Jango. He was the most feared bounty hunter at his time. That's why Count Dooku searched for him as the cloning template. And I believe if he was able to survive Geonosis, I feel like he would have been the best bounty hunter of all time. But that's not the case, since he inevitably died on Geonosis. So I do think, in my last video I did say this, I did think that if Jango survived, Boba and Jango would be the best bounty hunting duo in the galaxy. But that isn't the case. So at number 2, we have Cad Bane. So Cad Bane, I'm sure most of you weren't surprised about this one, but Cad Bane was one of the best bounty hunters in the Clone Wars. I mean, he was able to sneak into the Jedi Temple and steal a holocron. Not many bounty hunters can do that. Only a handful of them are actually able to do that. And he's completed most of his bounties, from what I can remember. The only ones that I can't remember him doing is the one in the Bad Batch for Omega, and the one for Zemo the Hutt. The Zemo one wasn't his fault, but he still failed it. But I still think that is why Cad Bane deserves his spot at 2. Now at number 1. I'm sure none of you are surprised about this one. Of course, Boba should be number 1. Boba is easily the most deadly bounty hunter in the galaxy. I mean, he survived a Sarlacc pit. He's cheated death, but that's basically cheating death, getting out of a Sarlacc pit. And, I mean, he showed his skills multiple times in the Clone Wars, in The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and The Mandalorian. So that's why I have Boba Fett at number 1. Mostly because of how skilled he was, he's the son of Jango Fett. You don't expect nothing less from him. But we'll have to see more from him in the Book of Boba Fett. Hello, this is Editor Chaz G here. I forgot to put this in the original clip. But he also did take bounties from Darth Vader. No mere bounty hunter gets offered a bounty from Darth Vader. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And if you do not agree with my top 10, let me know in the comments what you would rate all these bounty hunters. Now, all my Jedi and Sith friends, may the Force be with you, always.